Good morning, Year 6, and I hope you had a good first day back at school yesterday. I thought as we can't get on Zoom at the moment, I'd just send a little YouTube video to explain in a bit more detail what I want you to do today. So this is all based on our book, Boy at the Back of the Class, and the description that the narrator gives of the pomegranate when he first tries the pomegranate. Now, I know that many of you liked that chapter because they went on a bit of an adventure to find a fruit that Ahmet might like. And I set you the challenge of finding an interesting fruit to try over the half term. Now, don't worry if you didn't manage to do that. We can still do this with a fruit that we know, which you would have done yesterday in your plan. Well done to those of you who did try fruits, and thank you for letting me know. Ollie, I've never tried a Sharon fruit, so well done for managing to find that. Oscar, I know you tried a pomegranate. Omar tried dates. So we've all got different fruits that we're focusing on. So yesterday I asked you to have a look at the extract that had the pomegranate description, and there were some really vivid sentences in there that helped us to understand what it would actually be like to see and discover a pomegranate for the first time. So some of the best sentences that I've picked out are it was the size of a grapefruit. Now that is not that interesting a sentence, but what it does is it actually helps us imagine it. Because if we've never seen this fruit before, we don't know how big it is, so we want to try and compare it to something else so that the reader can imagine. So the size of a grapefruit, it was as smooth as polished glass. Now the narrators used a simile there so that we can compare it to something else that we know, so like glass, or maybe you might compare something to melted chocolate or to wrapping paper, whatever fruit you're doing. Or maybe even if you've got something slightly furry like a peach, maybe you'd talk about the sort of furry texture on the outside. Another lovely description that was in there was it looked like it had been dipped into a sunset. So think about how you would describe the colour of your fruit in an interesting way. Rather than just saying it was orange or it was brown, what could we describe it as? Maybe it's like a sunset, maybe it's like something else. Omar and I were talking yesterday on Zoom about dates and the syrupy colour. Maybe you could describe it like a deep syrup or a deep nectar colour. And the final one I wanted to mention was how the narrator describes the seeds as plucking out jewels from a cave. Now what that does is it suggests that this fruit is really precious and special. And I wonder whether there's anything you could use to compare to your fruit to make it seem either special or magical or whatever you think it might be. If you were doing a pineapple, for example, you might want to describe it looking like a bit of a crown it seems quite otherworldly, a fruit like a pineapple. So your task today is to use your plan from yesterday and write a brilliant description. So the things I want you to really watch out for are interesting adjectives, particularly when you're looking at things like size and colour, similes and metaphors. So what can you compare your fruit to? What would be an interesting simile to use? So that's what you're getting on with today. If you do have time afterwards, you can always draw a picture as well and show me those, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them. So enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you soon, Year 6.